to the All-Starz podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Montgomery, pro-astrologer and author of Star Power and Cosmic Power. This podcast is for you if you're an astro-curious modern mystic and ready to free your mind, own your power, and create your world. Let's go! All right. Hi, Cody, and welcome to the All-Starz podcast and Sunshine State of Mind if you're watching on YouTube. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. I'm so excited to meet you because, of course, Cody is the illustrator of my second book, Cosmic Power, and I have absolutely fallen in love with your artwork, especially since this has all happened over COVID and you do so many beautiful suns and there's such beautiful warm colors. So I really wanted to ask you what your inspiration is.
Well, thank you so much. My main inspiration is probably growing up in Cyprus. It's obviously really hot and sunny, and they have amazing sunsets. Like the colors of the sky is just amazing. So I think probably like 90% of my inspiration just comes from that.
Wow. So it's very nostalgic for you, actually.
Yeah, it is. But also I do try to go back. I mean, with COVID, I haven't been back this year at all, but my parents still live there, so I go and visit them. And yeah, I always get so inspired by being in the hot and heat in the sun. Yeah.
Yes, because I've been watching your Instagram feed over this time because I really did get quite obsessed. They're so beautiful. And, you know, I'm just thinking of you now based in England. Yeah. And the drizzly days and then coming up with these beautiful, inspiring, light, sunny, you know, I guess just what would be the word for it? Hopeful. Actually, the sun will always rise. Hopeful images through a lot of the darkness that was 2020 and still is. So
I really like to bring I really like to bring kind of sunny and colorful things into my life, I guess. I guess through my artwork I like to do that. So that's one of the reasons I do such colorful things.
And how old were you when you moved to England?
18. I moved here for uni. So,
oh, wow, yes. Yeah, so you were drenched in the sunshine. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to my questions here. Those suns. I find it interesting you also put in like you really ground them. It's not just like all in the air and all in the head. Sometimes you put animals in, but there's always, you know, these leaves and things like that. And I think that it makes it seem much more balanced and kind of achievable in a way. Like it's hard to explain, but that's part of why I love it so much. It's not just this celestial, out of reach thing. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I love plants, like I think most people, but I get so inspired just seeing them. Like if I'm on a walk and I see a really cool plant, I'll take a picture and I just add it into one of my drawings later. And I don't know, I just feel like nothing's complete without them.
Yeah, well, that's what it feels like. You've really completed the images with them. So I was really happy that went into this idea, and that my editor found you because of the suns. Of course, it was such a perfect fit.
Yeah, such a perfect fit. I mean, it was such a dream project to work on because obviously the aesthetic aligned so well with the book. It was perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't be happier with it. I've seen it digitally, but obviously I haven't got a copy of the book yet. Have you got a copy?
No, I haven't got a copy. I haven't even seen it completed digitally, so I'm so excited to get that copy.
Me too. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's published first in Australia November 5, then it comes in the UK, and I'm expecting the rest of Europe. Is it the 15th, 14th, 15th? It's like mid-November, and February in the States, I guess everything that's happened really stalled the pipeline for a lot of books. So yeah, so it is a Scorpio. I'm saying it's a Scorpio because it's born in Scorpio season. So I really, what else questions have I got? Oh yeah, have you done any other sorts of collabs, or like, have you done a book before?
No, I haven't done a book before. I mean, I do take on freelance work, so I'll do t-shirts, or I've just done a tattoo for someone, which was really fun to work on.
Well,
All sorts, really. I mean, branding and that kind of thing. But I haven't done a big project like a book before, and it was the best. I loved it, yeah.
And there's a lot more illustrations in Cosmic Power than there was in my first book, Star Power. So I was thinking, yeah, you're getting worked pretty hard. You had to come up with quite a lot. I haven't even seen all of them. There's a few, like, I don't know what's on the inside covers at this stage. Or
Not sure.
Oh no, you don't know either. Sorry, I was hoping you had one. I think they're on their way. So what else have I got here? So I had a few more questions, but I've just jumped to the business part in my notes. So I did want to ask, there's so many different ways to do business now, and especially for creatives who are sole traders or just, really small businesses. And I was wondering about like what you're doing for your business structure, and also like where you came from this. I saw something that you had posted about you did something that's more sort of sciencey and then you've changed. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So at uni, I actually studied physics, and then after uni, I went to work as a software developer for a couple of years. And I kind of had my business on the side. I was always drawing, and I had some prints for sale and that kind of thing. But it wasn't until I started doing it full time that it kind of became a proper business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I loved physics and I loved science and everything. But I have always had a passion for drawing, and I've always been drawing as long as I can remember, basically. So yeah, it just kind of naturally happened. It wasn't really a planned thing. It just, I wanted to leave my job, and my business was kind of picking up with the prints. So I just decided to quit my job and focus on my business. And yeah, it just worked out really well. I'm really lucky.
So yeah, well, it's interesting. You got in ahead of the curve. That transition, did that happen really for you in 2019 or a little earlier?
Yeah, 2019. So it was November was my last day in my old job. November 2019. So it hasn't even been a year yet, which is crazy because it feels like it's been forever. But yeah, not even a year ago I quit my job. So
wow, and things are really rolling. I've seen you coming out with lots and lots of new things, and expanding the things that you've been doing as well. So it's interesting how like the natural way, if you're willing to go with what comes to you rather than try to force things, it seems sensible.
Yeah, I definitely think it can go either way. I mean, some people have a plan and they stick to their plan and that works out great. But for me, it's just taking things naturally as they come has worked out better for me, and just letting things go organically.
And you've just moved your studio into London as well, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. I moved into a new studio, so I needed more space, and me and my partner were moving to London for his work. So it all kind of just aligned really well with the timing. And I've just got an assistant to help me out as well, which is great.
Wow,
she's been
great.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, she's only in 1 day a week. It's not like
still, that's a good start.
But it's going really well at the moment. I love doing what I do.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting because some of my clients, I've noticed over COVID, they might have been studying something really different. Everything's shut down, and they've started drawing, and they've realized they really love it. And then people are starting to buy things off them, and it's starting to grow. So they're thinking, well, should I just go in this direction? It wasn't planned, but of course they love it. Who doesn't love being creative, and it's being recognized and rolling. And it's just so interesting that with the internet you can just be direct to you know, the consumer, and it's a much more viable job description to be an artist or an illustrator now. It's just a whole different world. And so that's, yeah, we'll get back to, that's why I was wanting to know about, you know, your business structure or anything like that you would like to share with people that are, you know, wanting to sort of go down that creative path. Whereas in the past, you know, people would say, you know, artists don't make money, and that's just not true anymore, is it? You know, you can have your
No, it's definitely not true. Yeah, it's, I mean, when I was going to uni, I couldn't have studied art because I was thinking I would never get a job. It's too competitive. I can't make any money through it. But yeah, it's definitely not true at all. And you can definitely make a good career. And if you just want to try it out, there's so many platforms now. You can just upload your work. You don't even have to invest any money in the upfront costs. You just put your work up there and people can buy it from you without even having to invest in printers or stock or anything like that. So you can try it out.
So how did you start that first little bit? Did you had your work like on Instagram, or how did people order things? How did you set that up?
Yeah, so I started before I quit my job, and when it was just kind of a hobby business, it was on Etsy. And I definitely recommend Etsy because it was amazing for me. They do a lot of the advertising for you and promote your products, and there's a huge audience on there, so there's a lot of people to see your work. And the upfront costs are nothing. You basically pay 20 cents to list your product, and then you pay a fee if someone buys it. So it's not much risk involved, which is why I went with that.
And did you do some little small print runs, or were you printing things off as they were ordered? You just did a small print run so that were ready to sell?
Yeah, I just do small print runs. When I very, very first started selling online, it was on demand. So someone orders something and then I would get it sent directly to them from the printer.
Oh, okay.
But it can be a good option, but it's not what I do now because I like to have that part in seeing how the product actually looks and wrapping it up and being in control really of the shipping and everything like that, because it caused me some problems doing it on demand, and I think the quality wasn't really where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So
yes, it's a good way to just sort of test things and start.
Yeah, a great way to try it out for sure. Yeah, to see if people are interested and see what sells and what doesn't sell. Yeah.
And do you have a plan like now for where you're headed? Or are you still just kind of flowing and growing?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I don't like to plan too much because I think nothing ever will stick to your plan if you plan in too much detail. But I do have more products I want to release. I want to do more home decor, more accessories, and I've got some coming out in a couple of weeks. So basically, I want to do the same artwork but on different forms, you know, like different products. So that's kind of where I want to go. But beyond that, I don't really have much of a plan.
Well, that's good to know that one can work like that. So that's that thing of everyone works differently. It's all a brave new world. We're all doing these things in our own way, and we can learn little tips from everyone. I think it's, you know, I've been watching your feed, like I said, on Instagram, and you like nearly every single one that new drawing you've put up, you know, most mornings you get in there and do a drawing at least. And I'm like, oh, I want that one for Cosmic Power. Oh, I want that one too. I want them all. So I've had to bring the Saturn in and just, you know, accept the limitation. I can't have all of them. And I've also taken inspiration from your work and for Cosmic Power and made myself a big gold sun and put my flag there.
I love it.
I'm going to do some more and just get into making these really big backdrops for myself so that my studio space is nice as well and makes sense for the book. So that's inspiration from you and from Cosmic Power.
Oh, great. I love that.
DIY, bit of gold paint, a bit of whatever this fabric is from Spotlight. So,
so cool.
So I'll introduce your astro deets. So I was, of course, really curious about, well, what's your star sign? And, you know, I was trying to guess just by sort of looking at the feel of your art and you know, you posted a few pictures and conversations on Instagram, and I was thinking air. I was thinking she's very airy and light. It's very uncomplicated. And of course, you're a Libran with Libra rising and moon in Gemini. So that's air, air, air. There's lots of air. But you were saying you actually relate more to being a Scorpio and the Scorpio archetypes. And I'm thinking she's got planets in Scorpio. And of course you do. North Node, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, like all these planets bunched up in a big stellium in your first and second house. So just for anyone listening, and for you too. Libra, of course, is ruled by Venus. You know, it's to do with beauty and art, and also fairness, justice, and a lot of Librans are in law and politics because of that as well, but very much associated with beauty and art, and of course that air nature. And I think perhaps if you had even more air, you wouldn't have had the plants. It's just like super air, but you have green. And I've noticed a lot of Librans do like green. They do like the foliage. I'm not really sure why, but I've noticed that a lot. It's just a thing with Librans, and the flowers, the beauty, I guess, the beauty of nature. So I've got my green shirt today, just get into the vibe.
Yeah.
So you've also got, Venus in Scorpio. So Venus is what you love. So I'm thinking there's like, do you love a bit of intrigue or like the mystical? I suppose that's the mystical side, you know, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the kind of mystical and unexplained kind of things. But I don't really know exactly why. But I was talking to my friend the other day about this, and she said, I told her that you said I'm Libra, with like a little bit of Scorpio and Gemini, and she said she really sees that. It makes a lot of sense to her.
Yeah. Well, your sun is at 29 Libra, which is the last degree. So, you know, you're close to Scorpio, but you're still a Libran, and with the rising as well. And so being a Libra with Libra rising, people often like to do things together. They don't, even if that person's just sitting in the studio, but you work alone. Have you ever thought, I'd love to just have someone else in the studio or work that way?
I do like to have other people around. I'm quite sociable, so sometimes my friend comes and works here with me. But in terms of my art, I'd love to do a collaboration with someone, but I can't really see how it would work right now. So maybe another company or something like that. I love to do collaborations on. I recently designed some clothes for a company, and that was really cool.
Oh wow!
It's just gone.
Did you design the textiles?
I just designed the prints to go on them.
Oh, fantastic!
And they're in charge of making them and producing the clothes. So that kind of thing I love doing. I definitely love working with other people on making something.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely see that.
Yeah, me too, I must say. It's like I can do artwork myself, but I'm not that interested in doing it because I love seeing all the new images that come through, and it's things that I never would have done. So I think it makes it much more interesting and broad, and it just brings something else to it. And, you know, I'm not doing that professionally. So I think it's better to get everyone who is the best at what they do, that they focus on, the experts, to do their thing. And it just makes this amazing product. In this case, you know, a book. It's really exciting. Yeah,
I think this is such a good combination. Like the artwork, I think it'll look amazing because there's so many illustrations in the book.
There's so many. I was so lucky this time. Yeah.
And with obviously the actual content of the book, I think it's going to be a great combination.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm so excited. And I was so pleased that they were just like, yeah, we can have this many. And I was just like, yes, more. I think it's really important to have that sort of visual with the writing. I think it helps lock it into how people learn, and just that association. It can be, because it's just so astrology is just so heady. There's so much to remember. If you can sort of link every bit back to the images, I think that's really going to help people retain the information, because there's quite a lot in there. And do you did you get to read through much of it as you went?
So they didn't actually send me the full book. They sent there's a couple of chapters where I was doing the illustration for that chapter. So I read through all of those parts and I loved it. I mean, it's so technical and so much detail. I find it so interesting. Just learning about all these technical things I've never even heard of before. And I love the way it's kind of, it's like a book you can work through and apply things to your own life and like take things that will actually influence your life in a way.
Yeah.
I found that really cool because it's not something I've seen that much in astrology before.
Yeah.
So I loved that. Yeah, I thought it was like really practical and also really kind of sciencey, like technical. And
it is. It
yeah.
is. That's right. That's why I love having the beautiful pictures as well, just so that it's more balanced.
Yeah. But, I can't wait to actually receive it because then I can read the whole thing because I didn't get any of the sun sign chapters. They didn't send those to me. And they didn't send me the first bit of the book. I got
no.
Yeah, so I've read the middle.
Wow, well that's going to be interesting. I'm surprised that you seen the first bit because it definitely set the tone for what I was aiming for. But you did a brilliant job anyway. So I can't wait for you to read it either. I can't wait to read what's like so much got cut out as well because I'm such an overwriter. So maybe it's a good thing that you read the whole thing. It's about 3 times as long as probably what it ended up being. So what else about the book? Oh, what was your, you didn't get to read the whole thing, but what was your key takeaway or sort of the thing that stood out about what you learnt from reading it?
Well, I don't think I could say that there was like one thing I learned from reading it because I haven't had the whole experience, but I think for me it was just the things I can apply in my life, and I love the chapters about the sun and how it can influence your life. And I can't remember what you said, but there was like some things you can do to like attract the power and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was when I was reading it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, this is amazing, and it was in COVID as well, so I was like, I need this positivity. I need to.
I saw one of your posts. You had done a sun, and you'd written something like, it's such a drizzly day. I'm trying to, get in touch with that sun and amp it up as well. So yeah, it was definitely a nice book to work on because of the COVID thing too. The fires in Australia were on when I first started that as well. It's just been what a time to write such a positive sunshine book as well.
Yeah, so, I think it's needed though. It's
I do too. That was my feeling. I just sort of go on my instinct as well. I'm just like this, and I needed that in my life because of a few events too, and I'm just like, I'm just going to like bring that sun out and shine. And like I guess it's about intention too, like what vibration like are you tuning into, and then that changes your vibration. So it was great to have to focus during all the distraction as well. I'm like, no, get back to writing. Looking up your things too, or what's she doing now? I want that one. I want that one too. So so thank you so much for your beautiful work and contribution. Like I just love collaborating, even though we didn't get to talk with each other. I think that's actually a good thing. We all do our little thing and then come together later. Yeah.
I mean, thank you for the opportunity. I don't know exactly where it came from, but it was great to work on, and I think the illustrations were so well received by you and the publishers. There was hardly any revisions to make at all, so it was like everyone really was on the same wavelength with the book. I thought really
so too. My editor was, I'm just going to bring something up here. My editor kind of picked up the same things as me, and there wasn't much to pick up at all. We're just like, this is great, and I love that, not trying to, like, it's not my job to do the illustration, so I don't try to control it. I'm just like, great, awesome. And if it's something I wouldn't normally do, that's even better because it's made it broader than I could ever do myself. And for me, that's part of the point and the excitement. Like after the first book, I was saying, it might take a village to raise a baby, but it also takes one to raise a book. So many people involved actually in the end.
Really, yeah, I mean, I haven't had much involvement at all. Obviously, I just got the brief and then sent them off, and that's kind of everything I heard about until meeting you now, which is, yeah, it's just so interesting how it works. So.
You just had to do it. So Harriet Webster is my editor on this book. So she found you. She must have already been aware of you. And you know, the commissioning editor puts everyone together, like the team. So she managed the whole thing really beautifully, I thought. And yeah, I was really pleased with her choice, of course.
Yeah, I'm really happy as well.
So I'll wrap it up there. So where can we find you and your beautiful artwork?
Probably the best place for my artwork is on Instagram, because I post almost daily new drawings whenever I do them. Hoping to get some time to draw today, actually, so that'd be good. So that's at Cai&Jo on Instagram.
Cai&Jo.
And yeah, you can link it somewhere, I guess.
I can, yes, and I will.
Cool. And my website, I guess. And yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Oh, I was going to ask you, I seem to not have all my questions here for some reason. I was going to ask you where the name for your business came from, Cai&Jo.
Oh, right. So it was an idea that I was brainstorming, and it came from the inventors of paper and printing ink. So they're kind of vague because people don't really know exactly who invented paper, but it's supposed to be this ancient Chinese guy called Kai. And I thought, oh, that's so cool. And then this guy called Johansson something invented ink. And I thought, because I do printed paper goods mostly, it kind of just...
That is, to me, that's such an air sign conceptual, you'd never guess it, name of something. Yeah. But I love it. So just for people that are listening, it's spelled C-A-I and Jo, J-O. Yep.
Yeah. With the ampersand. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the and is the .com. Yeah. Sorry, I'm making it confusing.
Just make sure that was all my questions. I think it was. Yes. So check out Cai&Jo. Check out Cody on Cai&Jo, and also get a copy of Cosmic Power to look at the combination and how that's all worked out. It's a great gift, of course, for people that just want to know their sun sign, and for people that want to go beyond. I've actually made all the segments so that it's the planet in each sign. You could read it that way as well, because Star Power didn't have that kind of cookbook side to it. So they work really well together. I'm calling them the power couple because there's two, Star Power and Cosmic Power. And yeah, they support each other, but they're also completely standalone. But yeah, it's becoming a collection. So everyone grab your Cosmic Power. So thank you so much, Cody. It was so lovely to meet you finally. I've been busting for nearly a year now with curiosity. I'll stop recording now, and but just stay on there. Okay, thanks everyone for listening, and yeah, check out Cody's work. Thank you for joining me today. This has been Vanessa Montgomery. For more astro and modern mysticism, find me at astroallstars.com. Remember, that's stars with a Z. Take care and stay cosmic.